Hey there, in this video I'm going to explain the Medicare enrollment periods and make it super simple for you so that you know when to sign up for Medicare. My name's Matt and I worked for the Social Security Administration for over 15 years. I was a technical expert and handled the most complicated cases. I saw a lot of mistakes that people made, so I'm doing this channel to help you avoid a lot of the common mistakes. So let's get started here on the Medicare enrollment periods. Now just a very quick introduction here. Medicare has 4 different parts. There's Part A, B, C, and D. Part A and B are considered original Medicare. Part A is free and it covers you if you're hospitalized. Part B has a premium and it's what covers you when you go to the doctor. That's the main part that people think of, and that's the one that has enrollment periods. Part C and D actually have enrollment periods as well, but they're tied to the Part B for the most part. Part B is the one that everybody's afraid of making a mistake and having to pay penalties or higher premiums for Part B. So let's go over the different enrollment periods so that you are prepared to handle this transition in your life. And it is a big transition to Medicare. So the first enrollment period is the initial enrollment period. This is the time when you turn, this is the month you turn 65, and then 3 months prior and 3 months after. So it is a 7-month window for you to sign up in the initial enrollment period. Okay, so 7 months there. So let's give an example here. Let's say that your birthday is September of 2021. We go 8, 7, 6. Social Security doesn't care when your birthday is in September, although I'll come back to that in a minute. But so if it's September 15th, September 20th, it doesn't matter. We go 3 months back, and June 1st is the beginning of your initial enrollment period. And then we'll go 3 months forward. December 31st is the end of your initial enrollment period. So 7-month window there. The only caveat to that is if your birthday is on the 1st of the month. So if it was September 1st, then you actually have to back it up, and Social Security considers you turning 65 in August, believe it or not. It's a very strange rule that they have. But if it is on the first day of the month, then you're going to have to change this to August and then count back, and that would put the beginning of your initial enrollment period in May. Okay, so that's how you handle that if you're born on the 1st of the month. And that's really important because of when you enroll during this time period determines when your Part B will begin. So if you enroll in June, July, or August, your coverage will start in September 1st, the first day of the month of your birthday. If you enroll in September, then your coverage will begin October 1st. So this is where I was saying, like, if your birthday is on the 1st of the month, you got to be real careful about that, because if you enroll the month of your birthday, it actually will start the next month. It's kind of weird. Okay, now if you enroll in October, we go 1, 2, and your coverage would start in December. So there's a 2-month delay, and in fact, the later in your enrollment period you enroll, the more of a delay there is. So if you enroll in November, now you have a 3-month delay. You go 1, 2, 3, and your coverage is starting in February of 2022. And if you enroll in December, you're going all the way out to March of 2022. This is another important thing to understand. The later in your enrollment period you sign up, the more of a delay there is. You might be saying, well, I have coverage under my employer's insurance or under my spouse's employer's insurance. I don't want to sign up for Part B and pay about $150 in premiums right now. That's fine. You can delay, and we call this a special enrollment period. A special enrollment period is you can enroll in Part B anytime while you're covered under your employer's insurance or within 8 months of when that stops. Now there's critical factor here. Okay, 2 things. People a lot of times miss this, so pay attention here. 2 things is that Number one, you have to be actively working. Active employment. It cannot be insurance based on retirement. Like a lot of federal government workers are retired, they still have the health insurance. Doesn't count. You have to be actively employed. Number two, insured through that employer. Again, common scenario is if a federal worker retires, they have insurance through the federal government, but then they go to work for somewhere in the private sector. They still have their insurance through the government. Doesn't count. The insurance has to be through that employer. Those are the two things that will help you avoid the penalty for Part B, and they will allow you to start Part B when you retire or when one of these ends. Okay, now I mentioned there's an 8-month window from the time one of these ends that you can sign up for Part B, so you have some leeway there. Most people though, of course, when they retire, their insurance is going to end when they retire. So they want to start the Part B the month after they retire, usually. So you want to begin this process 3 months in advance. No more than 3 months, because there's certain paperwork that has to be signed. I'll have to cover that in another video just on the special enrollment period, but there's certain paperwork that your employer needs to fill out. So can't do it any more than 3 months in advance. One other thing to know about this, the employment here can be your spouse's employment. So it could be your employer or your spouse's employer. Works for both, okay? All right, that's the special enrollment period. Now, if you don't enroll in either of these, then you're really stuck with a general enrollment period. This is January through March of each year. So January 1st through March 31st of each year. And if you sign up during that time period, your coverage will start on July 1, July 1st of that year. Now this is where you can get some penalties. So for every 12 months that you go without credible coverage, these two things here, where you're over age 65, so you didn't sign up in the IEP, the initial enrollment period, you don't have credible coverage that meets this qualification, for every 12 months you go where you don't have that coverage, you're going to have a 10% penalty added to your premiums for life. And you're also going to have to wait until this enrollment period and then wait for the coverage to start July 1st. So you'll have delays and penalties if you don't handle it right between the initial enrollment period and the special enrollment period. So this is where a lot of people literally just get stuck with no insurance. It does happen. So it's something that you need to avoid for sure. Now I could go into more detail on each of these enrollment periods actually, and maybe I will in a whole nother video. Let me know if that would be helpful to you. Please ask questions in the comments so that I know the topics that you're interested in and that I need to be covering. Helps me as an instructor here to know whether I'm kind of getting, covering the points that you need covered. If you got some value out of this video, if it's helping you at all, please click the subscribe button. Please click that little thumbs up, that helps me out. And then there's a little bell next to there. If you click that bell, it'll notify you on your phone when I upload new videos. So if you're interested in more Social Security content, let's say you're getting closer to retirement age, probably want to click that notification button so that you get notified when the new videos get uploaded. I hope you got something out of this video. Thank you for watching.